episode of Coffee with Entrepreneurs. Today we have Mr. Sumit Sharma, who is the founder of SameSwag, Travel Leaf, and an eminent lawyer of the country. So before starting anything, I would like to welcome you to the show.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to be here.
Great, sir. Sir, I would really want to interview you, know about your journey. I think you are an inspiration for a lot of people starting your career from a lawyer. Even today you are a lawyer and then switching over to entrepreneurship as well. So I would want to know your journey. Before that, let's know each other. Let's try to know each other personally. Let's try to know about your family. Can I just have a brief about that?
See, life started the way it starts for all of us youngsters, and I was a very, you can say, a very average student in my school or class, and the same scare which the kids have with their teachers and with the exams and everything. Backbencher, you can say. And the biggest scare was studies. So, but yes, once we grew up and then I was in college, so things become better and things become more clearer. How do you have to go about it? And since beginning I had this thing in my mind that something big has to be achieved at the end of the day. Nothing average will work. So, but obviously the good part is that the future is always uncertain and you don't know the future. Life is always giving you new things every day. You never know what will come on your way. So at the end of the day, every day you get to see that something new, whatever your plans were, things will turn out to be different. So you should be ready. You always have to be ready on what comes on to you. So my life has been the same till now. Even since I was a kid till today, I never planned on big things. But yes, you have to dream. Ultimately, you have to dream.
So I see your career graph. You are a chartered accountant, you are a lawyer, you are a BCom honors graduate, and at the same time you are a very renowned entrepreneur as well. So what has been your driving force of doing multiple things? And you said you're an average student, but I think you are an inspiration for an average student because you achieved a lot of things in terms of degrees, in terms of name, in terms of fame. What has been your driving force?
See, as I said, that the only thing which changes your perspective towards life is I always believe there are two things. One is what you desire and one is what you dream. So desires are very short-lived. You get it and you are convenient and you are happy. But dreams are to be achieved and they take longer journeys. They take journeys which go on to years, maybe generations. So since beginning I had this dream that something big has to be achieved, something which involves a lot of people, which involves the journeys of a lot of people, which involves my journey. Because somewhere I read, when I was a kid, I somewhere read that ultimately life is about the journey of life and not the destination. Your destination you would not be very happy once you're there. But the ups and downs, the highs and lows which come on your way while you are in that journey, that make a difference. So I was, as I told you, I was just out of school and I decided to get into commerce because I was a commerce student, and I was in graduation BCom honors at the Venkateshwara College, New Delhi, and also along with it, my interest was to do something in finance. So obviously the biggest and the best was to do a chartered accountancy course, and that is when I enrolled. In the meanwhile, CA and BCom honors were going together. By the time it was over, the graduation, and I was still halfway through CA by that time. So the idea was to see, today's world is obviously of specialization, and ultimately the proverb which was there, jack of all trades, master of none. So basically now you have to be master of everything. That is how the world is now. And because of the same reason, while I was doing my chartered accountancy, I enrolled myself into law from Delhi University, and things started to happen in their own course. I became a chartered accountant when I was 22 and a lawyer when I was 23. Then I did my PhD in commerce. by the time I was 27, I was through with it. So eventually, the professional career went on. Obviously, with a lot of hard work, with a lot of good luck, and with a lot of blessings of everybody. And eventually, since you were asking about how the entrepreneurship, so I was almost after a decade of myself working as a professional. I obviously I had this. I shared with you that always I had that something big has to be achieved, and even if you get, say, some few hours or few minutes of your day, of your regular routine, you can do something new. So in between my professional career, I used to get 45 minutes to 1 hour of lunchtime every day for a decade after I did my CA in law. I started to use that 1 hour as well. So I used to finish my lunch in 5 minutes, and 45 minutes I used to be writing every day. And eventually, after 2 years of all this, I wrote a book. It took me 2 years. The subject was also new. And I wrote a book on corporate crimes and financial frauds. And that was the first book in India by an Indian author. All the foreign authors had written about it, but none of the Indian authors had any writer on this subject. So the idea was obviously to utilize each and every minute of your day. Even if you get a 45-minute break of a lunch, you can utilize that in a very good way. So that is when, after a decade or so, I thought that yes, it is a time that I can invest some time into some other things as well. So that is when I started with a travel company. And it's been 4 years now that the travel company is fully operational, successfully running into corporate businesses and all. Then about, after that 2 years, the biggest dream which I had, so that was to be pursued, and that was to bring people together based on their likes, based on their dreams, based on their hobbies, based on their mutual interests, which a platform which is not there anywhere, especially in India, it's not there. So my idea was always there that something has to be there which brings people together, and in a very friendly way, in a way which doesn't involve any formal setup, any conferences, any meetings, any setups, any associations, anything. It has to be today's day and age, it has to be today's thing. So I decided to create an application which would bring unknown people together, but who would be known to each other, maybe not personally known to each other, but known to each other because they have the same interests, plus who share the same location. So the idea of same swag popped up, and we worked on that, and there were so many people who worked along with me in creating that idea. And it's been 2 years now that since the time the idea came into being, and this year we launched the application Same Swag, and it's been connected thousands and thousands of people with each other based on their common interests, common location.
That's great, that's great. So in your journey, I'm sure you must be having a role model, somebody who has been inspiration, and motivated you so long for his achievements.
See, I'll be very upfront on it. Obviously, I have so many people whom I have seen and learned in my life from. But my father has always been my inspiration. Reason being that he has risen all by himself. And when you see somebody fighting it out, creating the whole thing by themselves, you also get inspired to do the same thing one day. You have it in you that yes, I have to achieve something which is maybe not, obviously you never want to outdo your own father, but you always look up to that if some good effort is done, you can achieve something big. So it will be a proud moment for everybody in the family, including your father. So obviously that makes you self-motivated if you have somebody in the family. But yeah, apart from that, I feel whatever I have seen and learned and listened, all over my life, I pick up few things and I keep them in my memory as storage, like you store in a computer in a hard drive. So there is always a hard drive up there, and whatever principles and good things of life you see and hear, you should always try to accept that in your own life. So a lot of things, and I remember the only few short words which I remember from my college days. Somewhere I read in a book which said, "A name without fame is like fire without flame." So those were the words which are still stuck in my mind, like engraved. And ultimately, see, basically, you always have to follow a dream.
That's true.
At the end of the day, if you achieve it, the journey which you pass, that is the beauty of the life.
Any three adjectives that link you to an entrepreneur that can define your personality and are common between you and an entrepreneur? Like any three adjectives that you can.
Okay, so this is a difficult one.
I know that, but I think you have all the qualities of an entrepreneur.
See, focused is obviously one.
Okay.
Focused, you have to be smart these days, and you have to be informed. So these three things I can say. Informed, I don't know, whatever way you can take it, but informed means that you know what you're doing. So informed, being focused, and being smart. These are the three things in today's age, which I can say, which I could,
relate
relate
right now.
to, yeah.
Great. So right now we have somebody who is an average student, yet he was able to achieve so many things. So it's an inspiration for a lot of students who are not that great scorers, who are average scorers also, that you need to dream big, you can achieve a lot of things in life.
Ultimately, what we want from them is performance. But once you are a success story, obviously, then nobody will ask you which college did you go to. And if you feel whatever you've read, you don't want to follow that particular field and you want to go in something else, why not? It's never too late.